Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer the Elemental Energy Yearly Outlook for 2025 for the element of air. Air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you are Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or if you have air high up in your charts, this one is for you. If you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description for a natal interpretation chart, which is basically gives you your circle with the 12 houses, all the little signs and symbols on it, and then a 10 to 20 page description of what all that means. It is a pretty general reading, but it's surprisingly accurate. So if you've never had them done, that's a good way to kind of get a little idea of what all that means. It also gives you your elemental alignment, so you can figure out just where all the elemental energies are. So with that, we'll get started with our reading. The way I like to do yearly readings is we look at a guide or angelic energy along those lines for each quarter. This year I'm adding in runes as well, and then from each quarter we break it down month by month with tarot, and I'm using my gratitude oracle because they have some really good affirmations with them. So we'll be using the affirmations as a way to kind of help us cycle through those months as well. And with that, we'll get started with our first quarter of 2025. And your guardian angels are the Mother, Father, God angels. These angels are the ones that help us understand the balance of the Trinity, the balance of the masculine and the feminine, and how that relates to the source of all existence. So this first quarter is really, they're saying that this is a time for air to really deepen their connection to God's source divine. This is a time for you to start to understand how we each carry within us the masculine and the feminine energies, and how that relates to God's source divine. And it's also saying that this is if you've been kind of putting your spiritual practice, however that manifests for you, on the back burner, the first quarter of 2025, it's going to be brought forward again. And they're saying it's going to be kind of a little bit more pushy about it, like, okay, you've wanted to do this, let's do this type of a thing. Your runic energy for the first quarter is the Manaz rune, and it is the rune of man. Deep color of deep red. Tarot association is the Magician. Astrology is Jupiter. Humankind, wisdom held in the body, mind and body working together, knowledge, memory, interdependence of the masculine and feminine within. So this first quarter is all about you finding the balance of your masculine and feminine energies. It's also saying that the masculine and feminine energies in the concept of divinity are very, very important this first quarter. So as you're going through this first set of three, January, February, and March, definitely keep your focus on finding that balance. If there's been something that has been a little out of balance, you just feel a little frustrated about life or whatever building up to 2025, they're saying that is your soul trying to say, something's not balanced here, kids. Let's work on that. So, so this first quarter is really about finding that balance. And your tarot for January is the 10 of Raphael, love and blessings filling your life, harmonious relationships within family members, happily ever after. They're saying this is what air has been dreaming about, is this perfect little house loving relationship. Everything is in balance, everything is just flowing really well, and they're saying that you have the opportunity to step into that this first month, and that ties into if your physical world becomes balanced, if your physical world is really about finding out where each partner stands in the relationship, or if you're single, how you stand with yourself. Once you start to understand the physical aspect of this, it's going to manifest itself very easily into your connection to God's source divine. But they're saying that this is really going to start with the physical. So in January, it's about reconnecting with your partner. If you're single, it's about understanding that we as individuals carry light and dark. We carry masculine and feminine energies. So bringing those into balance where we understand the different traits and understand who we are walking into the world, is going to help us connect to God's Source Divine on a deeper level. So your affirmation card, if I have the book turned up right, it helps, is number 38. No, 36. Sorry, wrong one. The handwriting on here is a little bit, so you can see how it says there. It says, tears. I am grateful for the healing my tears bring to me. I am grateful for the healing my tears bring to me. That might come as a weird affirmation with the 10 of Raphael, but what they're saying is, when we discover the balance, when we figure out that there's what's out of sync with our goals and dreams, what's out of sync with our spiritual journey, sometimes the release, that joyful feeling, is going to have a few tears with it. They're not saying it's tears of sorrow, they're just saying that there are tears that are helping to wash away the frustration, wash away the negativity, wash away that imbalance that may have been there. So this first month, really, as you're reconnecting to God's Source Divine, it may come to a point where you have to release some heaviness, and that is going to come out possibly as very emotional times. There could be tears involved, but it's just saying let the emotions exist, let them out. That way you can move forward with more clarity. So your February is the 3 of spring. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. As you find balance within yourself and in your relationships in January, February, you're going to start to see those things actually blossom into much more powerful, much more meaningful, taking it to another level type energies. And that's the success that you're looking for. Because when the physical world starts to balance out, everything's connected, as above, so below, you end up bringing the spiritual back into an aligned state within yourself. And this first quarter is about, so far anyway, connecting back into your spiritual practice, whether it's going to church more, whether it's practicing meditation, however that manifests for you. This first quarter, you're doing the work physically because it's mirroring into the spiritual. Everything that you do in the physical plane reflects into the spiritual. Everything you do in the spiritual reflects into the physical. And so the second month, because of what you're doing in January, February, you'll start to see the results of that. Even though it was only like a short window of time, it's enough to start to see the responses. So your affirmation card, if I can get to the right page, is number 17, and it is the seeking card. I am grateful for my ability to seek out new information. I am grateful for my ability to seek out new information. As you're going through this month of February, you're seeing the results. You're seeing that growth potential. You're seeing the things that you've started in January already starting to manifest in February. And that's that seeking. As things keep coming forward, you're going to keep looking. You're all about intellect. You're all about wisdom. You're all about learning more things. So February, the physical stuff you did in January is going to start to trigger your curiosity, that innate, I have to understand how this works. And that's what's going to come forward in February. You're seeing the results, but now you want to understand how you can make it more. So your third month, which is March, we have number 8, Justice, major life lessons, major arcana. So we're talking, this is probably outside of just March. Take time to review details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. This is a time, from what you learned in February, which you garnered and gleaned from watching and experiencing January, in March, it's time to integrate that. How do all of the lessons that you brought forward, how did the changes that occurred, how are those going to manifest for you in March, and how are you going to integrate those into your life moving forward? That also ties into this belief of, or the message of, connecting back into God's Source Divine. So you've done these things, and now it's, how can I make this more of a long-term habit? So it's not just right now. I can actually take this forward and continue to grow, continue to seek, and continue to bond with my inner circle, my partner, and also how I can connect further and deeper with God's Source Divine. So you've got a lot of different things going on here. And March is saying, put a pause on the active and just kind of look at how things are playing out and then make plans moving forward. Your affirmation card is number 40, and it is confide. I am grateful to be able to confide in others and receive their confidence in return. I am grateful to be able to confide in others and receive their confidence in return. So what I'm hearing with this one is when you have the Justice card where you're kind of taking a pause, you're kind of seeing how things are playing out, when you have this combination, what it's bringing forward is this is a time for you to talk things over with your partner. If it's by yourself, your inner circle, those friends that are really close to you, that are probably in some cases closer than family, and those are the ones who are going to be able to give you a little bit more feedback on how things are playing out. This first quarter is all about that spiritual connection, that spiritual balance, finding between the masculine and the feminine, your work and your home life. This first quarter is really balance and focus on that. When we have Justice coming in, you're also bringing in a little bit of that. If you have to make firm decisions, this is the time to set those boundaries a little bit more cleanly. That way you can have more of a peaceful life and a more of a drama-free existence. There we go. So we're moving into our second quarter, which your angels for this one are courage and bravery. The first quarter was more connecting into God, Source, Divine, and it's saying because the second quarter, you're going to have a lot more active motion going on. There may be some decisions that you have to make that require a little bit more courage. It may be stepping more into your authority. They're saying with work specifically, where you can say, no, I'm not going to work this 45 extra hours this week. I've already put in my 60 type thing. So you've got this courage to step forward, and you have the bravery to set firm boundaries in this second quarter is the other part of that. Your runic energy is the Hagalaz rune, which is kind of ties into this. The Hagalaz rune, what I'm hearing is this is a heads up or a warning type of a thing. It's the rune of hail, color of light blue, tarot association is the world, astrology is Aquarius, so this is actually your energy. Signifies unexpected setbacks or problems, attempts to let things flow, disruptive natural events. When we have Hagalaz coming in, also with the courage and bravery, it's saying that the second quarter, there may be some challenges coming forward for you, Air. That doesn't mean you're not going to be able to conquer them. It doesn't mean you're not going to come out winning. What it says is, pay attention to how things play out. This is not a time of frivolity for you. This next quarter is definitely about stay focused, pay attention to what's being said and how it's being said. The words are important, but it's the how that's also going to give you their give underlying information about what could be coming forward. So the second quarter is you have to be the one to step up and say, yes, no, this is how I'm going to live. This is a encouragement for you to step into your personal power in a greater way. That card just about went flying. Where the first quarter was about connecting back into God, Source, Divine, the second quarter is now that you have that connection, start to work with and activate your capital W will. This is that divine will that makes big decisions where your yes means yes, your no means no. You don't have a lot of waffling, and this is really a key focus is what I'm hearing for the second quarter. So in April, your tarot is the Two of Ariel. It is important to have balance working on multiple jobs or projects all at once, making work fun. No matter what your job is, no matter what you view as work, this is a time to find enjoyment in it. And this is carrying forward that balance that's coming in the first of the year, where you're still kind of having to make some of those adjustments, but you're moving into this state with more of a knowledge of what does balance look like, and now how can I put that into play? And being able to manage multiple things is air. It's a challenge. It's an intellectual challenge. This is your cup of tea. So this is what we're talking about when we say finding that balance and having to set those boundaries may not be easy for a lot of people, but for you, this is going to be such a fun, exciting, and even interesting. Like, you're going to examine it like you're examining a math problem, like, how do I make this work? How do I make this into that? That's the energy you're getting in this in April. Your affirmation is number 51, between. I experience my mind's silence and gratefully experience the between times. I experience my mind's silence and gratefully experience the between times. When you're working on finding balance with the two of Ariel after everything that you've started in the first part of the year, meditation is such an important aspect of that, where we quiet our minds. Prayer is where we talk to God, meditation is where we listen. And in this aspect, it's saying quieting that mind so you can see more clearly, get yourself more emotionally and mentally ready to multitask to the extreme level that Air really likes to do. So that's what we're talking about when we say that the in between times, it's that meditation where time kind of stops. I mean, there's times where I've been meditating and I will have the most amazing experiences, and within just a few minutes of that time, it feels like hours. But you come out and your clock's like, oh, you've been meditating 5 minutes or whatever. And that's what they're talking about, is when you step in between, it allows you to become quiet and you can see how things play out a little bit more clearly than normal. So let's hop into our May energy, which is the Magician. You can do anything, take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need to be a success. The Magician card is saying, once you've found this balance, once you gained those tools and reconnected, this is the time where you step into your authority. You're stepping into your power. And with the Magician, it's saying you have all the tools you need. Don't go searching outside for extras. The ones you have right now are the ones that are going to carry you forward. How are you going to use them? And that's a really important aspect, because you'll end up with a bazillion tools in your life, just is how it works. Whether it's physical tools, emotional tools, mental tools, whatever. You'll always have a ton of them, but they're worthless if you don't know how to use them. That's like, you can have a chainsaw, you know how to start it, but do you know how to use it? Most people, you hand them a chainsaw, they're going to be like, I don't know what to do with this, because they've never used it out in the woods. They've never been trained on how to cut a tree. These are things where you have a tool, do you know how to use it? And what I'm hearing with the Magician is you have all the tools available. You don't need to look for more right now, not in May anyway. And so how are you going to manifest things using the tools at your disposal? And this could be where you have to, find a teacher to help you understand them better. Pick up a new book that maybe has more of the advice that you need. Some of those self-help books are pretty handy. Some of them are total fluff. But in this aspect, it might be something that you need. The tools are available. You just have to use them. Your affirmation is stability, number 37. And I say the numbers because they may have numerology meaning specifically for you. So I always like to say the numbers on the cards. So when we have number 37 with stability, I like how the artist did the faces beyond either side of the tree. It is, I lovingly create stability in my life, and I am grateful for how this makes me feel. I lovingly create stability in my life, and I am grateful for how this makes me feel. We're still looking at that balance, the light and the dark, solar and the lunar. And when we have that tied into the Magician, it's saying the balance that you're looking for, those scales, so to speak, that you are using to weigh good, bad, indifferent, you already have all that. You're looking for ways to find peace in your life, and that peace comes through being stable. That peace is going to be something that you find first, and it's going to lead to the stability of everything else. There's not going to be super challenges, is what I'm hearing during this month of May. There could be some minor things that pop up, and you're just like, really? I have to deal with this right now. But it's saying overall, you have the gifts, the skills, the tools that you need. Use them for the greatest expansion of you, your life, and everything around you. This is a really good time for air as far as problem solving. You get to use all that intellect. You get to use your previous known knowledge, because knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. And that's where you're headed, is you're coming into a very big burst of wisdom because you're having the experiences. So your June energy is the Knight of Gabriel. Confident, enthusiastic, courageous, and charismatic. Time to take action. Great passion for causes. Instinctively knowing what to do. The first part of this year is really active on your part. By June, you've got things moving, everything's kind of setting up, so you're able to go with the flow a little bit more. It doesn't mean you can just quit thinking about it and quit making plans and just ride the wave. It's saying you don't have to put as much conscious, I must focus on this energy, because you've done all that already. You've got the build started, you've got the energy flowing. So by June, you can kind of take a little break. You can just see, okay, this is what I've got in play. Now you can just kind of watch it. Things are playing out well, hopefully, as things go forward. And if not, you can see where you need to tweak it going forward, is what I'm hearing. And your affirmation is the assessment one. I had to reread that because I wasn't sure what I was saying. It's number 34, assessment. I am grateful for my strength and weakness as I assess my goals and dreams. I am grateful for my strengths and weaknesses as I assess my goals and dreams. I am grateful for my strengths and my weaknesses as I assess my goals and dreams. June, you're stepping into a place of observation, still doing your thing, still staying focused, but it's less active participation. It's more of letting things play out, looking at the long term. How is this going to work for you? How is it going to show up in the world for you? So this month of June, wrapping up your second quarter, is really saying we're at a midway point. Have I been doing the right things? Has it been playing out the way I want it? Is there something that I need to adjust? Overall, as you're connecting into God's source energy, as you're stepping forward with your new authority, that divine capital W will, it's saying you're doing the work. Is this what you're after? So it's a good time to just kind of do a little check-in on yourself. Your third quarter is the sacred plan angels. These angels help you see how things play out, how the world exists for you. And when they say sacred plan, it's saying when you came into this world, before you came in, you made an agreement with your spirit guides, with God's source divine, to say, these are the experiences that I want. So this is the overall plan. I want these lessons. I want this type of stuff. And this is the environment where I want to eventually be. What they're saying in this third quarter is you're going to start to remember or tap into more of what that was supposed to be. We run so much as humans on autopilot that we don't actually sit and contemplate what it means to connect back into our higher frequencies. But this third quarter for air is definitely about meditate, talk to God, talk to your angels and spirit guides. What is the sacred plan of your life? You're not going to get specifics of, well, at 12 you needed to break your arm, at 15 you needed to have that car crash, at 17 you got that brand new car. It's not going to be that detailed. It's going to talk big life lessons and energy shifts in most cases. So what is the sacred plan of your life? Did you come here to be a teacher? Did you come here to have experiences as a student? Are you here to help others grow? Are you here for yourself to grow? What is it that's going to play out? And that's this third quarter. You're coming to a realization of how the things in your life, the big things in life that have happened already, are all in line with a sacred plan that you agreed to before you came into this world. Your rune is the Isa rune. It's the rune of ice. Color of black. Tarot association is the hermit. Astrology is the moon. Denotes some kind of obstacle, coldness between people, a time to observe, keep silent, refrain from commitment. This is a time, this third quarter, as you're working with the sacred plan energy, this is a time for you to really look at how things have played out. The hermit is kind of a fun card because it's saying time to step away from the chaos of the world, time to do your inner work. Really check in with yourself, with your higher frequencies. It says coldness between people. It doesn't mean that you're going to be hateful. It doesn't mean that you're going to be, oh, I just can't be around that person anymore. They might observe it as that, but it's because you need to step away to reassess things. You're stepping into the path of a spiritual, of a mystic, of we'll play D&D for a second, of a cleric. So you're needing that connection. You need to have some quiet time so you can really anchor the first 2 quarters into your existence in this third quarter. The first two are very active. You're ending the second one with a little bit of reflection, and this third quarter, you're stepping from reflection into full integration, but that may mean that you have to step away from a few social events just so that you can be more grounded and be more anchored in what it is that you're actually wanting to create. And they're not saying this to be vague. We're talking general readings here. They're saying it the way they are because they want you to understand you are the one in the steering. You're one with the steering wheel in your hands. This is the energies that are coming forward to kind of give you a little bit of guidance as to what direction to go or why certain energies are feeling that way. So this is where we're at, and everyone's going to have a little bit different experience when it comes to these things. So your July energy is number 10, the wheel. Delays are over, sudden or unexpected good luck, a new car or travel. So when we look at July following June's reflection period, there's still going to be movement. The sacred plan is not saying you're stopping. It's saying you may need to step back a little bit. You may need to hermit for a moment to really connect back in. The wheel energy is saying in life, there are ups and there are downs, but they're all cyclical. Everything happens in its due season. So during this month or this period of the third quarter, it's summer. Everyone in most situations is like, oh, it's light, it's bright, it's sunny, let's go do things. And you will go do stuff. I'm not saying you're not going to, but there may come times when your gut instinct is like, I just don't feel like this is a good idea. I think I'm going to go do something peaceful by myself. You might go camping by yourself. You might just you and your partner, you and the small family group go out, because it's those quiet times that pulling away from the group that is going to be so beneficial in this third quarter. So your affirmation for July is number 9, the possibilities. And it says, your affirmation is, I am thankful for my immeasurable possibilities. I am thankful for my immeasurable possibilities. There's so many things that are available to you in this month of July. With the wheel, it's saying the cycles of life are at play, they're at work, and you are being shown the various possibilities of what you can do, how you can manifest it, and how you're going to be able to move forward. This month is more of a passive movement. It's not actively driving forward, I have things to do. This is saying you've observed in June, in July, you're still in that kind of like, what do I need? How do I need to connect? But that's where that sacred plan comes in, because you're going to start to see, possibly from the bigger picture, how this is all playing out and why certain things have happened. They're saying that this is a reflection period for you. And they keep showing me a giant pond with the moon reflecting on it and you gazing into it, and these images are coming forward that are very specific for you. So there's things like that that you could be working on in this month of July. If you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe picking up a scrying bowl or putting some water in just a standard bowl. They're saying steel or glass better is the best. And just observing what reflects there. See how your intuition and your third eye wake up to that type of work. And they're being a little bit funny right now. Don't use a candle, it has to be with water. So, however that works for you. Your month of August is the night of Michael, strong, committed, intellectual, and diligent. Time to move quickly, choosing logic over emotion, sudden changes. So once you've done the inner work, that little quiet period, that hermit's energy that you're getting a lot in July, in August you're going to have a bit more movement because things are going to be shifting. You're starting to understand better, which is leading to motion. You're not stagnant air. That's not how you work. So these quiet periods are only short-term periods. They are not meant for long-term. They are not meant to take up months at a time for you. Yes, this third quarter is about integration, understand the sacred plan, and possibly pulling away. And July sounds like that's going to be your big pull away time where you're going to be able to spend the quiet time that you need. August is going to kick into, there's a lot more going on. I'm hearing there could be some birthday stuff that you don't want to miss, which is great. There's also some social events that are going on, concerts or whatever. They're saying that this is a time where you can get to moving again, really enjoying life. Don't stop doing that. But it's not going to be as quiet or as pulled back in the month of August. Your affirmation card is number 39, sensitivity. And it says, I acknowledge my sensitivity and endeavor to better care for my needs. I love and appreciate who I am without criticism or judgment. I acknowledge my sensitivity and endeavor to better care for my needs. I love and appreciate who I am without criticism or judgment. Don't worry about what other people think. It's not their life. You're living your own life. You're living your life with your partner, with your kids, with your pet, whatever it is. What someone else's opinion is in August is really doesn't matter to you. It's not important. Don't stress over it. And they're saying with the Knight of Michael, with this movement energy, there may be some movement, and others are like, man, we just can't keep up with you. 1 minute you're trying to like be all quiet and you're turning down in invitations. The next you're like, woohoo, let's go do stuff. It's because your growth and your learning experiences, you're not following anyone else's mold. Water and air are the two elements that are almost impossible to control. They're all a little bit difficult in their wild state, but how do you control air? How do you control water? If water doesn't like where it is, it just makes a new path. Air rises above everything and just goes. So how you experience life is going to be different from what other people think it should be. Don't stress about what they think. They're not living your life. The only people that you need to be aware of their opinions, theories, and feelings are your intimate partner and your inner circle. Those are the people who are working with you. They're usually on a similar path to you. So those are the ones you bounce your thoughts off, and they can tell you that's a bad idea. Okay, so maybe you need to readjust. But the outside world, outside of that, who cares what they think, really? I mean, your September energy is the Page of Michael, truthful, perceptive, analytical, and blunt. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents thoroughly. And they're saying with the contracts and documents, it's not just physical. This is a time in this month of September for you to recheck your sacred plan. What is it that you agreed to? Is what's coming up next? How are you going to manifest those things? And they keep coming back to this concept of a teacher. So if you're a teacher, this could be a time where you start to maybe look at, is there a way I can be more of a meaningful presence? Don't worry about the rest of the drama that goes with schools. That's not what they're talking about here. They're saying, how can you be more meaningful in what you're doing? They're also saying, as you're going forward with this, it's still a period of growth. So if you are maybe thinking about going back to school, this would be the time to see what classes are available. Is it a night class? Is it an online class? Is it something I can fit into my current schedule? What would I need to adjust to make this happen? But it's about looking at the plan for your life. What have you decided to do? What is it that you would like to adjust? You've been making these conscious assessments and judgments so far going forward. In September, it's time to start making the things that you've been checking in on, the things that you've been learning about. It's time to manifest those more into the physical. So your affirmation is number 35, and it is merriment. Come on, book. There we go. And it says, I appreciate the funny and uplifting aspects of my life and choose to laugh often. I appreciate the funny and uplifting aspects of my life and choose to laugh often. One more time. I appreciate the funny and uplifting aspects of my life and I choose to laugh often. No matter how serious things get in the summer and this year. And they're saying, especially in this third quarter, it could be a lot of introspection, a lot of serious talks, a lot of serious thoughts, especially if you decide to go back to school or something along those lines. Those are big decisions that you're making. Don't forget to laugh. Don't take life so seriously. Air, you want to be very analytical. You want to plan things out. Air tends to be a bit more serious of the elements. But they're saying, don't get trapped by that. Enjoy life, because if you're here to enjoy stuff and live and expand, you're not here to be a computer, an android. You're here to exist. We have souls, we have spirit, we have emotions, air. Don't forget those parts. So your third or your fourth quarter energy is raise your vibrations. This entire year has been leading to this type of point where you have reconnected with God's source divine, reassessed your spiritual plans. You've stepped up and said no and yes. Your courage and your divine will have really been worked on and stepped up with. Your third quarter was understanding your sacred plan. And the reason is your soul is ready for a big leap. We're going into a time of massive ascension, massive spiritual growth. You can watch any YouTuber, you can watch any video online, you can listen to even your pastors at churches. They're all saying a similar message right now if they're paying attention, that there's change happening, and it is a spiritual change. Things are in motion that really can't be stopped, and we don't want them to stop, because that shift of spirit is going to be so powerful and so freeing. This fourth quarter is going to be your time to shine in that. And it's not going to be a public like, oh, I've ascended. It's going to be personal, where my life's changed. I can't be that person anymore. Look at where I'm at now. And it's going to be a little bit of an aha moment coming in this fourth quarter. Your rune energy is the Tiawaz rune, which is Tyr, the god of war. Color of bright red. Tarot association is justice. Astrology is Libra. Signifies courage and energy, the power to weave the pattern of your own life. So you're working with some earth energy with Libra, which is not always the most comfortable thing for you to do. No, Libra is yours. Your air, sorry. I'm not good with the zodiac, that's why I go with elements. But you're working with this motion, and that's what they're saying is in this fourth quarter, you are really stepping into this pattern of how can I shift, how can I improve, how can I continue my spiritual journey? This whole year, you've been setting yourself up for this success and this forward motion and this forward growth. And now it's coming to this last quarter where it's happened. You've had the shifts, you've had the adjustments, and now you're starting to see, or you may have a really big aha moment where, oh, that's what that meant. That's why that happened. I now see where I'm going. As I said, with the third quarter, you may have those moments where you want to take your teaching practice, or you may become a student again. In this fourth quarter is when you start to see the reason that you were led down the path you were on, because it's time for you to step into your higher frequency energy. And that's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's not how this works. We're all on our own individual journeys, so take what you have achieved, be very happy with that, and move forward on the trajectory of how can I make this better. It's already amazing. What can I do to make it better? So your October energy is the Knight of Ariel. Trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There's so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. So October is the time where you're going to put into play the things that you did and planned and thought about in the third quarter. With the Knight of Ariel, it's definitely more of a movement aspect, but they're saying it's not going to be rush and push. It's you have other people there to support you. You have other people looking out for you. Take their advice, work with someone who's maybe been there before and done that, and take the parts from those conversations and move forward. But it's definitely a time where you, again, you're integrating things, but this is where you integrate and put into practice. So in October, you could have a lot of movement. There could be some huge shifts, especially if you go back to school in that time period. That could be in all sorts of new time adjustments that have to be made. But you are 100% capable of doing that. So don't give up and don't feel down if things are a little overwhelming in October, because it's actually going to play out the way that you had originally planned. Your affirmation is number 11 with the intention card. And with the intention is, I am grateful. My computer's trying to fall asleep on me. I am grateful for my awareness of my heart's desires, and I set intentions with those desires in mind. I am grateful for my awareness of my heart's desires, and I set intentions with those desires in mind. The Knight of Ariel and your intentions, they are moving in the same direction. This is the time where you set your intentions, because the Knight of Ariel is going to help you achieve them. You may have outside help that are helping you understand what those next steps are, helping you see the next path. But you've been going through this year, you've been doing a lot of inner work. Now it's time to set new intentions. Normally they'd say that at the end of the year, New Year's, whatever. But they're saying October is the time, because you've done so much, you've reassessed so many things in your life so far this year, and you've achieved a lot, meaning a lot of your previous intentions have already been acquired. You overachiever, of course you would do that. Coming into October, now it's time to set some new ones, because you're taking yourself from this, you've been building to a plateau, so you're taking that new foundation and you're launching forward with it. So you've got to set the new intentions so you can have a set goal in mind versus kind of wandering around. You don't do well with that. You want to focus. So this is what they're saying in October is set your intentions and re-foundation yourself to launch off of that. In November, we have the Prince of Spring, charming, self-confident, passionate, and restless. Immediate action challenges you successfully manage a passionate relationship. Your personal relationships, whether they are romantic or just close, are going to get deeper in November, because you have all bonded through this year of bouncing ideas off each other, accepting criticism and possibly giving criticism. There's been a lot of shifting and growth, but that's allowed a deeper relationship. If it is a romantic one, you and your partner are in a completely different space right now, and it's way more bonded than it was. If you're just friends with your inner circle, then that inner circle has become way closer than it used to be. You don't do anything minor. If it's going to happen, it's going to be big. And during November, they're saying the challenges that you were kind of focusing on in September, November is when you're really going to see them manifesting. You're going to really be able to handle them. But it's going to be done in such a way that everyone's going to be like, oh, that didn't even look like it was hard. You might have been sweating to beat the band behind the scenes. But everyone else, because you've already set yourself up for success, yeah, it was a little bit of work, but you're able to manage it. You're perfectly capable of overcoming any challenge this year, Air. And in November, you're going to prove it to yourself. Not other people are going to notice, but you're going to prove it to yourself, because that's the important part. Who cares what the other people think, really? Are you successful? Are you able to handle things the way you want to? If no, how can you improve it? If yes, keep it going. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let your ego get in the way, but keep doing what you're doing. Your affirmation is number 2 with harmony. I am in harmony with all aspects of my life, and I feel so grateful for this gift. I am in harmony with all aspects of my life, and I feel so grateful for this gift. You're working with the Prince of Spring. There's a lot of movement here. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of things coming into play. There are challenges in November that will be popping up. But because of the work that you've already done, you're going to flow with such harmony, with such grace, that no one else is going to be able to even understand how you did what you did. But for you, it was a minor challenge, little stepping stone, and you succeeded. So that leads us into December with number 20, renewal, big life lessons, major arcana energy. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose, releasing judgment of yourself and others. And I've said this multiple times before, no one cares about what the other people say. This is you, your inner circle, your romantic partner, your household, however you view that. Those are the things that are important. In December, it's time to take the intentions that you've already reset, look at them again, see where you're at, because Air, you love to make plans, you love to do organizing, and this is what you're doing. In December, you're looking back. Okay, so I've achieved this, I've done this. Where am I going next? What do I want to do? How can I take what I've already learned and move into a bigger picture? December is going to be a lot of inner work, contemplation, and they're saying that you're going to have the support of God, Source Divine, and the angels with you, and your inner circle, that close group of friends, your romantic partner, however that looks, is going to be encouraging you, offering you suggestions, and it might even be that you're planning a new future if you are dating someone? Are you ready to take it to the next level? These are things that you're renewing your ambition, you're renewing your foundation, and you are setting yourself up for the greatest success possible. And that's what's coming forward. This year is helping you reconnect with God's source divine. Learning that you can say no to people or say yes is all your decision, working with that divine will. Then you're starting to understand more about your sacred plan. And in this fourth quarter, you've done all the prep work. Your vibration is shifting. This is the time to really launch forward, is this last quarter. And to wrap up December with an affirmation, we have number 30, which is the affirmation, or the card is called Believe. Number 30. I believe in myself with gratitude for my many gifts and qualities. Repeat that with me. I believe in myself with gratitude for my many gifts and qualities. I believe in myself with gratitude for my many gifts and qualities. December is a time of reflection, of renewal, but it's also a time of gratitude. Look at how far you've come and give thanks. Give thanks for the challenges, give thanks for the blessings, give thanks for the lessons, because they've all contributed to who you are in this moment, how far you've come, and where you're headed in the future. This year is a pretty good outline of air's qualities. You're connecting, you're stepping up, you are understanding, and you are now in a new energy field. That's what's coming forward this year. So as you go through this year, definitely take the time to reflect when necessary, plan ahead, and push things when you need to, but definitely take the time in the first quarter to see where you're at, readdress your balances, and make sure you're ready to go, because this year's going to move pretty quick for you. With that, I will let you guys go. Have a great rest of the year, and do all those streamer things, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As long as we're respectful, that's really all we can ask for in this life. So I will see you guys in a future video.